course, some of our progress stalled when my successor decided to unilaterally pull out of the Paris Agreement in his first year in office. I wasn't real happy about that.
Go and just used to walk past all of these stars and just imagine. And it's just a blessing to dream big, and it truly happened. I'm truly standing here.
I made some comments that people might have felt were misleading, and to anybody who felt misled by. So I'm going to get back to doing what I do best, and that's playing ball.
And I didn't intend to kill them. I intended to stop the people who were attacking me.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Take, a special Veterans Day edition of The Take. I'm your host as always, Ken Diggs here. Glad you can join us here on The Take on this Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Yes, we're celebrating Veterans Day, and we kick Veterans Day with a bang here on The Take. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Take, the hub of pop culture here on The Take on Connect TV. Thank you all watching. All right, we got a lot to get to. Let's get started. But first thing first, let's join in the hashtag, using the hashtag Take here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. So let's get started. Like I said, let's get started with the big story. The big story this week is, man, everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's been hearing about it. Travis Scott. Travis Scott had a concert in Houston, Texas for his Astroworld theme, and it got a little bit out of hand, and Travis Scott could be facing some upcoming lawsuits down the road, but we'll get you up to speed on what's going on with Travis Scott and 9 people who died in a concert rage or wave or incident. We'll call it incident. We'll get you the latest right now.
Now the fire chief saying Travis Scott and others should have called an end to the concert, and tonight new and troubling video here showing the crush of people, one person trapped in a pile of others, but still managing to dial 911 at the same time. An ambulance trying to get to the injured, you can see the flashing red light, someone jumping right on top of it. And those images showing 18-year-old Aiden Cruz climbing a camera platform, pleading with the crew to get help. ABC News tonight obtaining a copy of the operations plan. Did it account for any possible crowd surge? We know dozens of lawsuits already filed tonight, and ABC's Marcus Moore from Houston again tonight.
Tonight, new videos from the Astroworld Music Festival revealing just how tightly packed fans were near that stage to see Travis Scott. In their criminal investigation, authorities in Houston are trying to figure out what led to the surge that has now killed at least 8 people, all younger than 30. Houston's mayor telling me every aspect of the disaster is under review.
Looking at the security operation plan, looking at where people were positioned, looking at how this whole area was designed.
At what is now a crime scene, investigators today poring over mounds of personal belongings left behind. 50,000 people watched as Scott hit the stage just after 9 p.m. Friday. Fans swarming to the front to see the rapper.
Being a veteran means everything to me. But I've never done anything with expectations of getting something back out of anything.
Concert goers say they had very little room to move or breathe. 18-year-old Aiden Cruz was at the concert with victim Brianna Rodriguez. This video shows him climbing a platform to plead with the camera operator to stop the show.
I went up to him, begging him because my friend's in that pit. It was just fear.
These new images from inside a heap of trapped bodies captures concert goers crying out for help. One person seen dialing 911. The show continuing until 10:10, nearly 40 minutes after police say reports of injuries started coming in. Tonight, New documents obtained by ABC News showing the festival's operations plans did not specifically account for a crowd surge, and that only the executive producer and festival director had the authority to stop the show. But today, Houston's fire chief saying Scott should have called an end to the concert once he saw what was taking place in front of the stage.
If he notices something that's going on, he can certainly pause that performance, turn on the lights, and said, "Hey, we're not going to continue until this thing is resolved."
It wasn't clear if Scott was aware or informed of the severity of the situation. And 9-year-old Ezra Blunt was at the concert with his dad and trampled by the crowd. He's now in the hospital fighting for his life.
He's a small, innocent child. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve it at all. You know, he's just coming into town to see one of his favorite artists.
All right, you saw right there on that news piece, Travis Scott had his Astro World, and he thought he was performing and doing what he wanted to do, but it just didn't go the way he wanted to go. So Travis Scott got a lot of things going on. I just hope Travis Scott gets himself situated and know what's going on, so it just won't be an incident like that happen again. But you can tell people already dragging his partner Kylie Jenner. You know, when you're associated with the Kardashians do not want to be associated with nobody who's bringing bad karma. And you know, Kylie used Travis just as a buddy. But she realized now, she's like, oh man. But Travis Scott, he even said this cryptic post. Yeah, I guess some people saying he wasn't sincere. He didn't think of at the time, but I mean, it don't matter now. You finna have lawsuits coming your way, buddy. I'm telling you right now. You better look out for that because it's coming. 9 deaths. Come on now. Somebody wrong for death too. Ooh, and then the concert rage, and then some say a 9-year-old was tumbled while he was getting stumped down on the ground. Not stumped down on the ground, but pinned down the ground. He couldn't escape it. So there's a lot going on with that. Whew. All right. We move forward to celebrity news. In celebrity news this week, as you saw, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made it up to appearance for a military event, and they were trying to, I guess like now, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle trying to fit in with the crowd in California. But, you know, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they interview earlier this year when they revealed that the royal family ain't what they seem to be. So I guess we got to keep an eye out for them because they kind of like want to be celebrities now than royal ambassadors. Also, too, rapper Missy Elliott received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Big up to Missy Elliott. If you remember Missy Elliott with Super Duper Fly, Work It, those classic songs, Lose Control. Everyone knew Lose Control. So here's a little snippet of what Missy had to say about receiving her Hollywood Walk of Fame. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Missy Elliott to the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I've come here 20-some years ago and just used to walk past all of these stars and just imagine. And it's just a blessing to dream big, and it truly happened. I'm truly standing here.
Destiny's Child's Confessions and Whitney Houston's In My Business.
Good. Big ups to Missy Elliott on that accomplishment, that feat. Missy Elliott, one of the all-time greats in hip-hop, probably in the late, mid-90s, that done the thing and did the thing well. So good for her. Also, too, Paul Rudd, film actor, he best known for The Avengers and Ant-Man. Well, Paul Rudd has been named People's Sexiest Man Alive.
And the 2021 honoree is Paul Rudd. Yeah. Ageless actor is officially the sexiest man alive. Rudd telling People magazine, I'm going to lean into it hard. I'm going to own this. And joking, I'm hoping now that I'll finally be invited to some of those sexy dinners with Clooney and Pitt and Michael B. Jordan. And I figure I'll be on a lot more yachts.
Okay. It was it. But look what the news when Paul Rudd received the news on Stephen Colbert with this.
The announcement was revealed in last night's episode of The Late Show. But before Stephen Colbert presented Paul with his new title, he put him through a few rigorous tests. Take a look.
Are you ready to be sworn in?
Absolutely.
Raise your right hand and put your left hand on a photo of your own face. Did you bring a headshot?
So I could just use my own face?
What do you see that's in common?
Well, they're all kind of casually reclining.
Posture. Can I see you slump? Show me a sexy slump.
Sure thing.
Oh my God. Wait, I love it so much. So we'll have to ask former sexiest man alive, Ryan Reynolds, if he thinks Paul nailed the sexy slump.
Yeah, Paul Rudd was a little bit ecstatic. I mean, he's old, but a lot of people kind of happy for him. Even Ryan Reynolds, a fellow sexiest man alive who won an award a couple of years ago, congratulate Paul on today's show with this.
People has crowned it sexiest man alive, and it is Paul Rudd.
Of course it is. I just heard about this morning.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. I think that this opportunity will be wasted on him like so many before him. He's going to play it shy. He's going to play it bashful, humble. If I know what I knew now,
Yes.
I wouldn't do
Remember
that. You got to
2010?
seize this opportunity.
Yeah, when it was your, remember your mom.
Yeah.
Do you remember
If I got
your
it-
reign?
Oh, if I got it now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would leave my family, but they would need to go on without me. I would roam the world clutching my dog-eared People magazine, going from town to town like sowing my wild oats like some sort of nude magical gardener.
I mean,
it would be amazing.
Let's hope.
Okay. Well, it is what it is, but Paul Rudd, I guess Mike B. Jordan was last year's pick, so they couldn't go back and do it again. So I don't know. I'll be surprised who gets this nod next time. Also, in other celebrity news, we hear that Leonardo DiCaprio is in talks to play cult leader Jim Jones. You remember Jim Jones, the man we told about drinking the Kool-Aid and had them folks in Johannestown and had them all drinking and they all died. Ugh. It's going to be a good movie, but Jim Jones is a disgusting, despicable human being. And wherever he's at, let him stay there. So, it was it. All right. We move over to talk shows this week. On talk shows this week, Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers quarterback, a lot of people saying that he made a lie just to say that he took the COVID vaccine when really he didn't. Well, he tried to explain himself on his friend's show, Pat McAfee show, to clear the air on what's going on. Take a look.
MVP quarterback Aaron Rodgers is playing defense tonight.
I made some comments that people might have felt were misleading. And, to anybody who felt misled by those comments, I take full responsibility.
After testing positive for COVID last week, the NFL superstar igniting a firestorm Friday when he confirmed he was unvaccinated, claiming to be in the crosshairs of the woke mob, and saying when he was asked about his vaccine status in August, this answer wasn't a lie.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
In the fallout, healthcare company Prevea ending its partnership with Rodgers and State Farm Insurance standing by the QB but significantly scaling back his appearances in their commercials this past weekend. Rodgers has also been eviscerated by some other athletes. Basketball legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar writing, Aaron Rodgers didn't just lie and threaten the health of those around him, he also damaged professional sports. And while Rodgers is not only a top athlete, he expanded his already high profile this year, substituting as host of Jeopardy, but tonight saying he wants to get back to basics.
I'm an athlete. I'm not an activist. So I'm going to get back to doing what I do best. And that's playing ball.
Well, Aaron, just take the shot. If they want you to take the shot, just take the shot. I mean, And then a lot of people are blaming his girlfriend, Shailene Woodley, for, advising him on stuff, on natural stuff. I mean, it's just weirder and weirder and weirder. Aaron Rodgers is getting weirder. So he even tried to hold out for the Green Bay Packers when the Green Bay Packers said, hey, we hold out. You work for us. You still on contract. So Aaron Rodgers is now all there. He tried to get out trying to be a host of Jeopardy of all people. Aaron Rodgers hosting Jeopardy? I don't think so. Stick to football, my man. But on The View, the women of The View discuss why Aaron Rodgers ain't taking the shot that he should and leading the example. Like not all athletes like Kyrie Irving and others not taking the shot. Take a look.
But also to sort of claim that he's being canceled and this use of the word woke. I think Aaron Rodgers needs to realize that when you look in the dictionary, woke is an adjective meaning that you're alert to racial prejudice and discrimination. And it's something that originated in the African American community. And he should, using it in that way is despicable and very dismissive to the origin of the term. And he also quoted MLK. And he quoted Martin Luther King's speech, letter from a Birmingham jail. And I think that's pretty disgusting. I'm also disappointed in Aaron Rodgers, of course, for all those reasons. But
yeah, well, maybe he just don't want to take the shot. He just take the shot. He just don't play. And, the Biden administration, they all know rules and stuff to keep everybody in line. So it's Aaron's ball. So we just all living in it. So, there you go. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more tape. Don't go anywhere. The special Veterans Day edition of the tape. Stay tuned. Come back to this very special Veterans Day edition of the tape. I'm your host, as always, Ken Diggs here. Like I said, salute to all veterans, men and women who paid, who fought for our country, and made the sacrifice. We thank you and we honor you here on the tape. So, let's get back to the tape with the political rundown. Political rundown this week. Man, a whole more can of worms came out as Kyle Rittenhouse, the 18-year-old teen from Illinois, who came to Wisconsin to try to stop a Black Lives Matter protest, but killed 2 Black Lives Matter protesters in defense, and now he's in court, in trial. He takes the stand. And he gave this emotional, unstable testimony. Take a look.
I didn't intend to kill them. I intended to stop the people who were attacking me.
It was a high-stakes move by the defense. Rittenhouse was interrogated for hours. It's the first time the jury hears from him.
Defense will call Kyle Rittenhouse.
An explosive day of testimony. Jurors Wednesday, for the first time, hearing directly from Kyle Rittenhouse about the night he shot and killed Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber and injured Gage Grosskreutz. Then this moment on the witness stand, the now 18-year-old sobbing, unable to talk as he described encountering Rosenbaum, who he says was chasing him.
Mr. Rosenbaum was now running from my right side. And I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski. And there were...
What's up, genius? This your rich ass, pretty ass host, Fat Boy SSC, the CEO and artist of Out the Trunk Records, baby. Come on in. Hold on, dude. Hold up.
The judge calling for a break. Through testimony, the defense painting a picture of a young man who had been cleaning graffiti and wanted to offer medical help to those injured during the protests that followed the police shooting of Jacob Blake. But in cross-examination, the prosecutor pressing Rittenhouse on his decision to go to Kenosha in the first place, attempting to dismantle Rittenhouse's argument that he was in Kenosha that night to offer medical help.
You're not a certified EMT. You're not an EMT of any kind. You weren't on that night, correct?
Yes.
So you lied to him, correct?
I told him I was an EMT, but I wasn't.
Kyle Rittenhouse trying to cry. He's crying like a baby. You You want your little bib? You want your little rattle? I'll give you your rattle, Kyle. I'll give you your rattle, all right. Rittenhouse trying to avoid not, testify in the stand. But it was more funnier when the judge even called out the defense attorney. Take a look.
At another point, the trial abruptly paused. The jurors walked out, the judge furious after the prosecutor seemed to allude to evidence the judge previously ruled was inadmissible.
You know very well that an attorney can't go into these types of areas when the judge has already ruled.
When court resumed, prosecutors playing videos of Rittenhouse at the protest and attacking his claim he shot Rosenbaum in self-defense.
Joseph Rosenbaum never touched you in any way during that incident, correct?
He touched my gun.
He didn't touch your body in any way, did he?
No.
Oh my God, this is the most, I don't know. It's just like if he gets off, then people gonna go ride and go crazy. And then if he does get locked, then people gonna, it's just like it's an no-win situation at this point because a lot of people are emotionally charged, emotionally invested into this case because they want justice for those two Black Lives Matter protesters. So there's a lot going on, and we'll keep an eye on this story when we can. Also, too, speaking of that, on the January 6th riot earlier this year, President Trump tried to get an executive order to prevent his records being shown, but now a judge prevents him from doing executive privilege. I mean, the man been out of office since January, and I mean, President Trump can't win for lose with nothing. He just can't win for lose. I guess he got to do those rallies. But don't be shocked. Don't be shocked and surprised if he do try to run again. That's in his motto. He ain't gonna do it right now, but he'll do it when the time is right. Speaking of Trump's nemesis that he can't stand, he loves to spew fellow President Barack Obama. President Barack Obama coming out and saying this.
Of course, some of our progress stalled when my successor decided to unilaterally pull out of the Paris Agreement in his first year in office. I wasn't real happy about that. And yet, the determination of our state and local governments, along with the regulations and investment that my administration had already put in place, allowed our country to keep moving forward, despite hostility from the White House. The $90 billion investment that we made in 2009 helped to jumpstart the clean energy industry in the United States, and markets adapted, and so did consumers. And even when the Trump administration rolled back emissions requirements for automakers, along with regulatory changes and efficiency standards, many businesses chose to stay the course. They kept reducing emissions. They continued the transition to electric vehicles and energy-saving appliances. The ball had been rolling, and it didn't stop.
Trump did pull out the Paris Accord, and you told Biden, hey, pull us back on in. So, hey, I guess Trump saying we don't need no carbon energies, and Obama saying we do need it. We do need it. Look what happened with the infrastructure, earlier this year when it was freezing to death. So Obama trying to get all the policies that Trump reversed for his to get reversed back at what Biden's doing. So there's a lot going on in that matter. So, but speaking of President Biden revealed his $1 trillion plan on the infrastructure. Let's take a look.
Tonight, President Biden celebrating the passage of his $1 trillion infrastructure package, something presidents have promised for years.
We can't afford Washington politics to stand in the way of America's progress.
Our infrastructure will once again be the envy of the world.
Finally, Infrastructure Week. I'm so happy to say that. Infrastructure Week.
The bill funnels billions to upgrade public transit, improve water supply, and expand broadband internet to rural communities. It aims to put hundreds of thousands of Americans to work, rebuilding roads and bridges like this one in Sharkey County, Mississippi. It's been completely closed off. So for farmer Jeffrey Mitchell, a 5-minute trip to transport his crops is now over an hour.
What is the cost of inaction
for farmers like you?
You know, I guess the cost of this action would be, you know, having the inefficiency and the, you know, liability of moving, you know, around to another bridge when we could just drive across that one.
Pretty easy fix.
Yeah, I just need a bridge, and we all do, you know. It's not just me.
Mississippi is expected to get $225 million for bridge repairs and money soon to flow across the country. Michigan may get $1.3 billion to help clean up the lead from its water, and New Jersey could use the funding for a new tunnel to New York. Today, I asked Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg how long it will all take.
We were down in Mississippi talking to farmers who have had bridges closed down in their area for 2 or 3 years. So when exactly can Americans expect to see a difference in their lives?
The short answer is as fast as many of these agencies and workforces can absorb those dollars.
Yep, President Biden trying to get everything together, get everybody up to speed and catch up. So you got to catch up and keep up with everything. So you know how that go and how that flows. So the president trying to do he can, listening to his ex-boss, President Trump, President Obama, on reversing the Paris Accord and getting everything back up to speed, where he defeated Trump to become president. And now everything's coming into fruition with Trump being mad and want to run again. You know how they go. All right. On the reality show clip down this week, Dancing with the Stars did Janet Jackson night. Janet Jackson, the famed dancer and choreographer, the famed dancer and with the choreographed moves. So let's look at highlights of the dancers doing Janet Jackson. Take a look. Janet Jackson, one of the true icons of the music industry. Also, unsung hero, was revolutionary and did things to broke the mold. So Janet Jackson doing a lot for the music industry going forward. So big ups to Janet on that. All right. On news this week. Now we hearing that Arby's is getting into the vodka business. Yes, the restaurant Arby's, who creates the crinkle fries and the bacon cheddar sandwiches or something and the wraps. Now Arby's trying to do a vodka with curly fries. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, like you tasting vodka and then you tasting curly fries with the vodka shots, you can just like throw them like beep, 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 beep. So I mean, Arby's, good for them if they want to do it, but you know, hey, it is what it is, to each his own. You know what I'm saying? And take the vodka shots and just drop them. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. The viral video of the week is we're honoring veterans here on Veterans Day. We take a clip of a veteran who shares his story to cadets on honoring veterans. And so look at this.
For the Veterans Day Parade, dozens of veterans told their heroic stories to young cadets. In honor of Veterans Day, Roanoke recognizes the heroes who risked their lives to protect our families. Thomas Dalzell served in the military for 31 years, but originally came to the Commonwealth on a football scholarship to Virginia Tech. Dalzell became an engineer officer and moved around the world 20 different times. He encourages all teenagers to graduate high school and immediately serve their country in some way.
It could be military, it could be Peace Corps, it could be working with a volunteer organization in your community. Provide about a year of service back to your country to kind of find out what your passion.
Dalzell says serving will guide us, that he says the country's so desperate.
Yes, this old vet telling folks to get educated, you know, be in the workforce, stay out of trouble. So, you know, he's providing a positive outlook on life as he becoming a veteran and stuff. So we honor him, we salute him here on this Veterans Day edition of The Take. So thank you all for watching this edition of The Take. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next week for another edition of The Take. See you later.